Good evening and welcome to KUTV Primetime News on this 14th day of April 2022, a holy week among the Christian faithful. Ramadan is also going on, quite a spiritual aroma going around, but we're here to inform you on the day's happenings. But first, as is our custom, the highlights of tonight's top stories. Warning to wayward aspirants as challenges rock the UDA party primaries. Energy Ministry promises Kenyans normalcy to resumption of fuel supply in 72 hours. And still on the fuel crisis, the prices of petrol, diesel and kerosene up by 9 shillings and 90 cents. And in the sports world, Elite Youth Camp ushers its final week at the Kenyatta University Ruiru campus. A warm welcome to the broadcast. My name is Emmanuel Kutosi, and in a sign language interpretation, I'm joined by the gleaming Vivian Wangeshi. Now, let's get on with it. President Uhuru Kenyatta has reminded Kenyans of the importance of peace and unity, saying there is nothing that can defeat the two virtues. The head of state spoke today when he joined the African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa faithful for the church's joint holy oil consecration ceremony and prayer service. A call to embrace peace and unity has been made to Kenyans by the head of state, terming it a virtue to be cherished by the country's citizens locally and all over the world. President Kenyatta tabled the call when he joined members of the African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa, commending them for coming together and uniting after 17 years of division.
Kazi ya miaka mingi, leo hii Mwenyezi Mungu ametuonekania na atuonekera.
Speaking during the event, AIPCA National Presiding Archbishop Mudhuri led his colleagues Archbishop Dr. Njoroge and Archbishop Wangombe in assuring that the church is now united and will never separate again. He thanked President Kenyatta for his support and the role he played in uniting the church.
Nataka nishukuru pia wale wote ambao tumetembea nao na wamenisaidia. Wazee kama Archbishop Emmanuel wa Methodist, Archbishop ama Bishop Njenga wa Anglican, wanahusia na wale wengine wa ofisi yangu ambao wametembea hii safari pamoja na hawa wazee, na wote ambao kwa roho safi, hata kama hii haikuwa kanisa lao, lakini walikuwa wanahangaika wakiona watoto wa Mungu wakipigana na wakajitolea. Tunawashukuru kwa hayo yote.
Uhuru's call for peace comes even as the country stands 137 days to the general polls and the political temperatures picking up at a peak, requiring emphasis on unity and tolerance among all Kenyans. Okay, and moving on into the political circles, the United Democratic Alliance Party, UDA's National Election Board, has postponed the party primaries in Bumula, Mount Elgon, Turkana, Central Turkana East constituencies and Kakamega County. Speaking while issuing a media update on the nomination exercise today, UDA Election Board Chairman Anthony Mwaura stated that the Bumula, Turkana Central and Turkana East elections will be held on Tuesday, April the 19th, as George Mapesa now reports.
The UDA party kicked off its county-wide primaries today. However, the exercise has been challenges in various parts of the country, leading to the postponement of the exercise in some of the affected parts. UDA nomination did not take place in Bumula, Turkana East, Turkana Central, and Kakamega County. Due to various reasons, according to UDA Party National Election Board Chairman Anthony Maura, Mount Elgon election was marred by violence, and Kakamega County experienced logistic challenges.
Some of these logistical problems we got were beyond our control. It was the issue of fuel. We could not even get enough fuel to take our materials. It was beyond us. But please don't cancel our election.
Tharaka-Nithi Senator Kithure Kindiki, who is the member of the board, warned candidates who are involved with the violence in some constituencies as evidence, noting that the strong action will be taken against them.
If those accusations are proven to be true, the consequences include suspension of such aspirants or party members from the party, or even complete expulsion.
This is how the situation was in different parts of the country.
Hiyo challenge nilikuwa nimeulizia nikaambiwa watu wenye hawapati majina, most of them ni wale wame change polling stations zao, na as at now voter register haijakuwa updated.
Turnout ingekuwa mzuri juu tuna senator hakuna hapingwi, governor hapingwi, hata women hapingwi. Watu wote watatu wakaona watu wengi wageweza kuwatoa manyumbani wakuja wapiganie waweze kupiga kula.
Tumepata na some problems, shida kidogo za transportation, za materials kukuja kwa vituo. Nafikiri hiyo ndio imeleta shida.
Hiyo mambo ya nomination tumekuwa wengi, ni kama wengine wame lose hope. Sasa kazi wananchi tunasema haki itendeke ili tupate kupiga hizo kula.
In other parts, the nomination of the candidates continued without violence, as now the candidates expect to receive the results. George Mapesa, KUTV.
The Azimio One Kenya coalition has been registered formally as a coalition party by the Registrar of Political Parties, Anne Nderitu. In a Gazette notice today, President Uhuru Kenyatta will lead the coalition as the chairman, while the former Premier Raila Odinga will act as the party leader. Other leaders who have secured leadership slots include Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho, and Suna East MP Junet Mohammed, and Murang'a Women Representative Sabina Chege. Well, and from politics, we move swiftly into the fuel crisis. Now, amidst the ongoing fuel crisis in the country, Energy Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma has assured that the government will restore normalcy to the supply of petroleum products within the next 72 hours. She, however, cautioned motorists from panic buying, which has likely caused a shortage in some parts of the country.
Motorists and the nation at large now have a temporary reason to take a sigh of relief from the government's assurance that normalcy to the ongoing fuel crisis will resume in a span of 72 hours. This comes in the wake of national fuel shortage, with the Energy Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma reiterating that there is enough fuel reserve that will cater for the needs of Kenyans up to June.
I reiterate that there is no need for panic, and I want to really wish every Kenyan normalcy. I believe that in the next 72 hours we should have returned to the normal supply and demand cycle.
CS Dr. Juma blamed the oil marketing companies for the ongoing crisis, alleging that some marketers were holding the fuel products in anticipation that the monthly price reviews by Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority EPRA would work to their advantage.
We have determined that some players have been holding this product, presumably and probably speculating that on this day of the month, the 14th, as you all know, price reviews will provide them with a cash windfall.
To cushion Kenyans from high pump prices, the Energy CS said the government rolled out petroleum pump price stabilization program and the fuel subsidy program. The CS also announced a raft of measures to be enacted to ensure there is a normal supply of fuel in the country, warning Kenyans to desist from bulk panic buying.
The government will continue implementing the petroleum pump price stabilization program in order to continue cushioning customers against the otherwise high pump prices.
From the address by the energy CS, it was clear that some players were responsible for the fuel crisis through hoarding, which even saw the deportation of Rubis Kenya Managing Director and CEO Jane Christian. She noted that the government had disbursed 34.6 billion shillings to oil companies for fuel subsidy and the 14 billion shillings balance to be soon cleared to ease the fuel tensions in the country. Omondi Otieno, KUTV.
Thank you, Mondi, for that report. And if the energy and petroleum report from the Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma announcement on the resolve of the fuel crisis in the country has made you breathe a sigh of relief, then be ready for a whole new crisis, as the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority has announced that starting midnight tonight, Kenyans will have to pay 10 shillings more for this commodity. This after the review of the fuel prices.
Starting midnight tonight until the 14th of May 2022, Nairobians will pay 144 shillings and 62 cents for petrol. This is after a review of the fuel prices by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, announced by CEO Daniel Kipto, which has seen fuel prices rise by 9 shillings and 90 cents. IPRA CEO Daniel Kipto announced that the new prices are inclusive of a 8% VAT in accordance with the Finance Act 2018, Tax Law Amendment Act 2020, and adjustment of inflation rates. In his address, Kipto confirmed that the hike is as a result of a 20.47% increment in average landing cost for super petrol, by 24.7% for diesel, and 11.84% for kerosene. This translates to a litre of petrol will now go for 144 shillings and 62 cents, diesel will go for 125 shillings and 50 cents, kerosene for 113 shillings and 44 cents, from 134 and 72 cents, 115 and 60 cents, and 103 and 54 cents respectively. This is for Nairobi residents. In Mombasa, a litre of petrol will go for 142 shillings and 36 cents, diesel will go for 123 shillings and 26 cents, and kerosene will go for 111 shillings and 19 cents. In Kisumu, a litre of petrol will retail at 145 shillings and 2 cents, diesel will go for 126 shillings and 20 cents, and kerosene will go for 114 shillings and 16 cents. The fuel hike comes amid a biting shortage of fuel across the country. Samson Jura, KUTV.
And back to a political beat where the Speaker of the National Assembly had a rough time defending himself against the allegation that he is no longer partial following his move to join the Deputy President William Ruto-led Kenya Kwanza. Members allied to the Azimio la Umoja coalition raised impartiality concerns of the Speaker Justin Muturi and sought assurances that his latest political dalliance with the Kenya Kwanza will not affect the House business.
There was a heated debate during today's proceedings of the National Assembly when lawmakers allied to the Azimio la Umoja coalition, led by Suna East Member of Parliament Junet Mohamed, brought into disrepute the impartiality of Speaker Justin Muturi in the wake of his move to join Kenya Kwanza.
Impartiality is not determined by which party you belong to. It must be new. You must be able to demonstrate it. And I don't know what it is that shows that it has not been demonstrated.
Speaker Muturi finding himself hard-pressed to assure the concerned members that his move to join Ruto's led Kenya Kwanza will not in any way interfere with his work on the floor of the House.
Honourable members, those of you who feel that if you feel that the Speaker is not sufficiently impartial, please, because the Speaker who is before you is unwilling to resign. Take it now, yes, we can take the bank. Please, look at the provisions of Article 106 of the Constitution. Yes, so don't, I mean, there's no need.
At one point, Muturi told off honorable members who have issues with his leadership, urging them to institute impeachment process against him.
Mr. Speaker, we have never doubted your impartiality. That I can say it on record. We have never so far, until when we saw in a hotel in Karen, Mr. Speaker, signatures and ceremony happening, you signing as the party leader of the Democratic Party, Mr. Speaker, we started now feeling that surely we might not get a fair treatment in the House, Mr. Speaker. There might be no impartiality, Mr. Speaker.
The point of contention being documents tabled by Honorable Fatuma Gethi that allegedly proves that Deputy President William Ruto is a land grabber. Speaker Mturi insisting that Honorable Gethi first table the documents before explaining, a move that led to shouting matches in the House.
Here, but let me explain.
Have you tabled?
I have not tabled, I have it here. What am I tabling? What am I tabling? I have to explain.
No, table
I have to explain.
Table
no, I must explain. Kenyans must know. I must explain. What am I tabling? No.
Honorable Fatuma Gethi.
Why? Mr. Speaker, don't gag me. Let me explain to Kenyans in this House.
In the end, Speaker Justin Muturi was forced to adjourn the sitting due to disorder in the House.
Applying the provisional standing order 112, the time being 13 minutes after 5 p.m. The proceedings of today are adjourned. The House will resume on Tuesday, 10th of May, 2022 at 2:30 p.m.
Henry Tende, KUTV.
Dear members, thank you, Henry Tende, for that report. And that report brings us to our first break right here on KUTV Primetime News. But stay tuned. We'll be coming back with a discussion that you really do not want to miss on matters on weather. Look at how we were hearing that the Speaker is impartial or not impartial. Is it true? Is it just a story coming about? Just stay tuned. In a moment, we're about to talk on matters that you really don't want to miss after this break.
KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following our news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020 359 9054.
Kenya kuna aina tofauti za hali ya anga ambazo huboresha au kuwa changamoto kwa wakazi wa eneo. Kaunti ya Makueni imeibuka kuwa bora katika masuala ya kilimo licha ya hali ya kiangazi.
Maembe huwa tunazalisha nyingi, lakini mtambo kuna ile capacity ambapo haiwezi pitisha na hatuwezi chukua maembe yote. In fact tunakuta tunachukua 5-6%.
Kaunti hii imejikakamua kwa udi na uvumba kutegua kitendawili. Ukambani kuna ukame.
Tambo maji ilikuwa ngumu kupata kiasi kwa sababu kama ni pale kwa mto inapita tu inaenda. Lakini sasa hii kama imesimamishwa itakuwa rahisi kwetu.
Basi kikosi cha Boresha Kilimo kilitangamana na wakulima mbalimbali kuandaa Makueni County Edition.
Na wahimiza wana Makueni na Wakenya wote kwa jumla kuitazama kipindi cha Boresha Kilimo kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 6:30.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pasi kukufuku. People pani idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Last but not the least, we're now going to put the creamy vegetable. The same way. You can always get creative. This one is going to come on top. Then we're going to align this on the side.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
This is magic. I need that magic.
Somebody call 911. Anything for your girl, give me more.
Nasema shughuli wagli, den.
Kenya kuna aina tofauti za hali ya anga ambazo huboresha au kuwa changamoto kwa wakazi wa eneo. Kaunti ya Makueni imeibuka kuwa bora katika masuala ya kilimo licha ya hali ya kiangazi.
Maembe huwa tunazalisha nyingi, lakini mtambo kuna ile capacity ambapo haiwezi pitisha na hatuwezi chukua maembe yote. In fact tunakuta tunachukua 5-6%.
Kaunti hii imejikakamua kwa udi na uvumba kutegua kitendawili. Ukambani kuna ukame.
Tambo maji ilikuwa ngumu kupata kiasi kwa sababu kama ni pale kwa mto inapita tu inaenda. Lakini sasa hii kama imesimamishwa itakuwa rahisi kwetu.
Basi kikosi cha Boresha Kilimo kilitangamana na wakulima mbalimbali kuandaa Makueni County Edition.
Na wahimiza wana Makueni na Wakenya wote kwa jumla kuitazama kipindi cha Boresha Kilimo kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 6:30.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. You would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business vlogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Hope has come with model stories from small successful entrepreneurs. We tell you these tales weekly on The Budding Entrepreneur. Join us as we help you make your trade profitable and offer.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
And today we feature matters security and fleet management.
Our first prototype had some issues. The heat and the friction on the boda really killed our hardware.
we decided to make our thing really modular and create accessories so that we can be able to help you in such situations. So the first thing that we created was a panic button. This button here is the modular part. It used to connect like the panic button and any other modular features that you may wish to want.
Peponi mwanzo ni sehemu ambayo kwamba Mwenyezi Mungu aliyetukuka anasema kwamba wanadamu watakapofariki, watakapofufuliwa, watakapopigiwa hisabu, kila mmoja atakapopigiwa hisabu, ikiwa wewe ni mtu mwema, basi utaingizwa peponi. Yani peponi inamaanisha ni mahali pazuri, paradiso ama paradise. Utakwenda kuishi kule peponi. Sasa watu wengi katika fikra zao wanashindwa, kweli kuna kitu kama hiki?
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu, pepo pani idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Last but not the least, we are now going to put the creamy vegetable. The same way. You can always get creative. This one is going to come on top. Then we are going to align this on the side.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
I need that magic.
Somebody call 911. Anything for your girl, give me more.
Nasema sugri wagri, den.
Kenya kuna aina tofauti za hali ya anga ambazo huboresha au kuwa changamoto kwa wakazi wa eneo. Kaunti ya Makueni imeibuka kuwa bora katika masuala ya kilimo licha ya hali ya kiangazi.
Maembe huwa tunazalisha nyingi, lakini mtambo kuna ile capacity ambapo hawezi pitisha na hatuwezi chukua maembe yote. In fact tunakuta tunachukua 5-6%.
Kaunti hii imejikakamua kwa udi na uvumba kutegua kitendawili. Ukambani kuna ukame.
Tambo maji ilikuwa ngumu kupata kiasi, kwa sababu kama ni pale kwa mto inapita tu inaenda, lakini saa hii kama imesimamishwa itakuwa rahisi kwetu.
Basi kikosi cha Boresha Kilimo kilitangamana na wakulima mbalimbali kuandaa Makueni County Edition.
Na wahimiza wana Makueni na Wakenya wote kwa jumla kuitazama kipindi cha Boresha Kilimo kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 6:30.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. You would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business blogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Hope has come with model stories from small successful entrepreneurs. We tell you these tales weekly on The Budding Entrepreneur. Join us as we help you make your trade profitable and often smile to the bank.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
Ukiwa na dukuduku la michezo, tunafungua sanduku la dukuduku kwa ufahamu zaidi. Kila danadana, mitimko, mifiatuko na harakati zote ugani, sisi ni wako mwandani. Kukurukakara zote nyanjani, haziwezi kuangaziwa zaidi ya micharazo michezoni. Mimi mwanaspoti wako matata Peter Pinches Mwaora ndakuwa na jopo lenye maarifa sufufu, nikufahamishe na nikuburudishe wewe shabiki shakiki kwa uhakiki na kindakindaki.
Last but not the least, we're now going to put the creamy vegetable. The same way. You can always get creative. This one is going to come on top. Going to align this on the side.
And today we feature matters security and fleet management.
Our first prototype had some issues. The heat and the friction on the boda really killed our hardware.
We decided to make our thing really modular and create accessories so that it can be able to help you in such situations. So the first thing that we created was a panic button. This button here is the modular part. It's used to connect like the panic button and any other modular features that you may wish to want.
Last but not the least, we're now going to put the creamy vegetable. The same way. You can always get creative. This one is going to come on top. Then we're going to align this on the side.
And today we feature matters security and fleet management.
Our first prototype had some issues. The heat and the friction on the boda really killed our hardware.
We decided to make our thing really modular and create accessories so that it can be able to help you in such situations. So the first thing that we created was a panic button. This button here is the modular part. It's used to connect like the panic button and any other modular features that you may wish to want.
Welcome back to KUTV Prime Time News, and today we have quite the deal lined up for you as we even out on how the media, which I am a proud member of, relates to propaganda and how this relationship has been and why it thrives even in the information age of the 21st century. On set, I am joined by a fine set of journalists, colleagues to treasure, to beat out the husk out of this in this new segment of Get It Right. And now to the lady in the room, Bentura Kwambuka. Say a word to our viewers.
Hello, it's good to be here today during the launch of Get It Right. I'm hoping to be with you, my viewer, throughout the program. Stay tuned.
And this is no new face. Samson Jura, your bilingual abilities are now on the test. A word to the viewers.
Well, I would say I'm a regular on TV, on screen, being both Swahili anchor and also a show host here on KUTV. And today, I find it, I'd say it's pleasurable for me to be on this side of the set. Normally, I'm on the other side where Kutosi is. And today, as he had mentioned, we have brought to you a new segment that is called the Get It Right segment, where we are going to talk and decipher matters propaganda that is being propagated by politicians or people in office or people in other situations, not necessarily politics, who try to push up an agenda so that whatever it is they are putting across is picked up by the public for their own, I'd say winning, for lack of a better word.
And I was to urge my director to actually give us a proper introduction into this segment that is coming new right here on KUTV Primetime News. And now let's get on to it. Now, propaganda. The case on the word on the table has been tossed about, especially in the current political climate, as the August polls draw ever closer. However, what exactly is it? And now, before we delve in, now receive us join us on social media. We are on Twitter at KUTV_Kenya and KUTV Kenya on Facebook, and on KUTV Kenya Live I am at _Emmanuel Kutosi on Twitter. Bentura, kindly, your handles?
You can find me on Twitter at Bentura_K.
Jura?
You can find me on Twitter at OJ Samson Jura on Facebook and other social media platforms as well.
All right. Fill the digital arena. We will be previewing your messages in a few. Now, on to it. So, according to the Oxford Dictionary, propaganda refers to ideas or statements that may be false or present only one side of an argument and that are used in order to gain support of a political or leader or party or etc. And according to the Britannica Encyclopedia, propaganda is more or less the systematic effort to manipulate other people's beliefs, attitudes, or actions by means of symbols, or so using rather friendly language. Propaganda is the spreading of information in support of a cause. It's not the importance of whether the information is true or false, or if the cause is just or not. So how does this play out in the political arena? First, through name calling. Be very keen when you hear names being flung around by politicians. Chances are there is an agenda being propagated. Another angle may be through glittering generalities. Here, rather than the name calling, a flip results in the praising of a certain person, a policy, or an idea, so that it literally glitters by linking it to a positive symbol, such as democracy or family. How exactly is such achieved? First, by making false connections, transfers where politicians link their cause with an authoritative social structure, such as the church or parliament, or any other that would foster conviction. Also, this would be achieved using testimonials, where a celebrity endorses a political candidate. I believe I don't have to go far to get an example. Alternatively, propaganda may find lift through special appeals. An ideology may be pushed to convict the audience that a prominent person and his ideas or they or her ideas are of the people. So such persons' ideas are brought out to be the choice of many. This you may see when a politician eats some choma in a joint with locals, or indulges in some maybe maize roasting situation at the grassroots to create the illusion of being a commoner, and therefore the ideas are for the common mwananchi. So be wary of that. And without going further now, I'll now switch on to Jura to try and bring us to speed on exactly how did propaganda come about. Jura, if you could kindly enlighten us on the history of this whole word propaganda and its functionalities.
Well, propaganda, of course, everything that is in existence must have had a beginning. Now, in the history of propaganda, and before I delve into that, propaganda, misinformation, fake news have the potential to paralyze the public opinion, to promote violent extremism and hate speech, and ultimately undermine democracies and reduce trust in democratic processes, as well as sway public opinion. Well, it depends with whomever is propagating this propaganda. I mean, it may be to the advantage or to the disadvantage of the person they're doing this, they're mudslinging to. We can call propaganda mudslinging if I'm not wrong, right? So, but what I'm here to talk about tonight on this inaugural showing of Get It Right segment here on KUTV, propaganda history has it that in 1622, the term propaganda apparently came first into common use in Europe as a result of the missionary activities of the Catholic Church. I'm not throwing mud at Catholics. Please don't kill me on social media. But Pope Gregory XV created in Rome the Congregation for the Propagation of the Faith. Now, it is in its origin when propaganda began. It's an ancient and honorable. It was an ancient and honorable word. Religious activities which were associated with propaganda commanded the respectful attention of mankind. It is in the later times, the current day and age which we are in right now, that the word came to have a selfish, dishonest, or rather subversive associations. Now, propaganda was one of the weapons used in the movement, for example, for American independence or even French revolutions and independence as well. World War I dramatized the power and triumphs of propaganda, and both fascism and communism in the post-war years were the center of intense revolutionary propaganda. After capturing office, both fascists and communists sought to expand their power beyond their own nation borders through the use of propaganda. For example, in the American continent, yes? Columbus, if I'm not wrong, yes?
He discovered America, eh?
Yeah. Okay, we were not there in the early 1800s. In the early 1700s when America was established, but